The torrential rain battered against Tony's windscreen as he navigated his car down the dimly lit highway. The night was eerily quiet, save for the sound of the raindrops pummeling the roof. Tony, a middle-aged man, had been battling fatigue after a grueling day at his office. His eyelids felt heavy, and the hypnotic rhythm of the wipers only added to his drowsiness. Suddenly, Tony's attention was caught by a figure standing on the side of the road. Squinting through the downpour, he spotted a man hitchhiking, his thumb extended desperately. Tony hesitated for a moment, his better judgment urging caution. But empathy overwhelmed his apprehension, and he pulled over to offer the stranded traveler a ride. The hitchhiker scrambled into the passenger seat, water dripping from his saturated clothes, while a sinister smile creeped across his face. His appearance was alarming. His eyes were sunken and bloodshot, and his skin was pale and almost translucent. The unsettling aura surrounding him sent chills down Tony's spine, but he brushed it off as his imagination playing tricks on him. "Thanks for picking me up, buddy," the hitchhiker croaked in a gravelly voice, revealing yellowed and decayed teeth. Tony cringed at the sight and forced a smile. "No problem," Tony replied, attempting to hide his unease. "Where are you headed?" "Just a little farther down this road," the hitchhiker replied, his gaze fixed off into the distance as if contemplating something sinister. As they continued along the stormy road, Tony found his nerves growing increasingly on edge. The hitchhiker's glances became more infrequent, and when their eyes did meet, Tony felt a sense of unrelenting malice emanating from his passenger. Unable to shake off his unease, Tony decided to strike up a conversation, hoping to distract himself. "So, what brings you out here on a night like this?" The hitchhiker's twisted smile widened, exposing more of his putrid teeth. "Just taking a stroll," he replied, his words dripping with a demented glee. "You know, enjoying the rain." Tony's heart began to race, his mind conjuring horrifying possibilities. Was he trapped in a car with a psychopath? Panic started to set in, but he managed to calm himself, reminding his racing thoughts that his imagination was getting the better of him. It wasn't long before Tony noticed a particularly pungent odor emanating from the hitchhiker. A sickening metallic stench mingled with the earthy smell of rain. Suddenly, Tony saw the hitchhiker's eyes dart hungrily towards him, his drool dripping profusely onto his tattered clothes. "What's wrong? Feeling a little uneasy?" The hitchhiker growled, his voice tinged with menace. "Don't worry, we'll be there soon." Tony's heart sank as his suspicions were confirmed, and terror consumed him. He was with a member of the local cannibal cult, renowned for their deformities and insatiable hunger for human flesh. The stories he had heard in whispers around town flooded his mind, fueling his despair. Frantically, Tony searched for an escape plan, but the highway stretched endlessly, offering no refuge. With every passing second, the hitchhiker's appearance seemed to mutate before Tony's very eyes, his disfigured limbs and grotesque features becoming more pronounced. Tony's breath quickened, fogging up the windows as fear gripped him tightly. The rain continued to pour relentlessly, as if to mirror the chaos within him. His heart raced, his mind raced, and Tony knew he had to act swiftly if he had any hope of survival. Summoning all of his will, Tony gripped the steering wheel tightly, ready to make a desperate dash for freedom when an opportunity presented itself. His gaze flickered between the highway and the hitchhiker, hoping for an opening, a moment of distraction. Just as they approached a deserted stretch of road, a blinding bolt of lightning illuminated the sky. A massive thunderclap followed suit, momentarily deafening both men. Taking advantage of the darkness and the hitchhiker's disorientation, Tony abruptly swerved the car onto the shoulder. The car screeched to a halt, sending the hitchhiker careening into the dashboard. Seizing the moment, Tony flung open the car door and sprinted into the obscuring veil of rain, his heartbeat pounding in his ears. Behind him, the hitchhiker let out a demonic roar, pursuing Tony with an otherworldly agility, snarling and howling through the unrelenting downpour. Tony's lungs screamed for air, his legs burned with exhaustion, but he pushed his body past its limits, desperately seeking salvation. With each labored breath, Tony propelled himself onward, his determination to survive overpowering his weakening stamina. Fear and adrenaline surged through his veins as he dashed towards a distant set of headlights appearing through the storm. And an old beater of a car pulls up beside him. Tony grabs the handle of back passenger door. "Go, go, go, go," he yelled with panic in his voice. As he slams the car door, he looks and sees three bearded, grubby hillbillies as they all looked at him, and one says, "No worries, we will take care of you." Tony gets a severe chill, but still in high hopes that he is safe. But unfortunately, what Tony did not know is that these were that hitchhiker's brothers, and he was on his way back to their farmhouse to be dismembered. In the end, Tony knew better than to pick up hitchhikers, but his weakness to empathy ended up being the end of his demise.